Hey guys, what's going on? I'm that guy Dan96. Welcome back to Prepared. We are over here in Washington Dulles, getting ready to head on up to Philadelphia as United 6071 operating as Mesa. So we're Air Shuttle 6071 getting ready to head on up to Philadelphia. So got my paint here, November 512 Mike Juliet. I just made it. I had to get rid of the stupid SkyWest livery that they have on here. So let's hop on the flight deck and let's get this flight going. And here we are in the flight deck of November 512 Mike Juliet, Canada Regional Jet CRJ 700. Again, we're going up to Philadelphia this afternoon, actually this morning in the sim, and this evening we're going up there right now. So I haven't done anything other than the fuel and payload. We got, I don't know, what do we got here? 59 passengers, 7,100 pounds of fuel, giving us a zero fuel weight of 57.6 and a takeoff weight of 64.7. So we're just finishing up some boarding right now, but we can hop on down to the FMS and we can start getting this flight going. So we are in Dulles, going to Philly, as their Air Shuttle 6071. And let's take a look here, departing Dulles. Winds are 130, so I'm expecting 19 left for departure. Let's go ahead, next page this. 19 left on the Woolly 1 departure via Baltimore. So we're Woolly 1 Baltimore, Victor 41, correction, Victor 214 to, And then we're Victor 433 to Odessa. And then we're inbound to Philly. I don't know what the weather is in Philly really quick. I can go check it. Again, we're going off a 19er left here in Washington. Philadelphia, the winds are 210, so we'll be on runway 27 right. Anyways, let me get back to my charts here and check this out. Runway 19 left is pretty much a climb to a heading of 320 and all that stuff. So we can execute that. Let's go on over to the perf init. We can go ahead and just send our payload data over to the perf init here. So copy data perf init. All that's good. Cruising at 11,000 feet today. Oh, that's right. I gotta add a few more zeros. There we go. It likes that. So we got 11,000 feet. We have an alternate, but I'm not going to put in an alternate. Cruise altitude doesn't matter to me. 18,000 feet doesn't matter. Speed, and all that's looking good. Let's see. We're going to cruise at 300 knots. That's the plan. And then descend into there. So we're good here. I don't think we have. Yeah, there's nothing in there. So there we go. We got our flight plan all set up here. And the IRSs are aligned, as you can see here. So taking off from runway 19 left, we're going to take off and fly runway heading up to 820 feet. Then it'll be a right turn to 320. Let's go ahead and set in 320 here on the heading. So we got 320 in on the heading. There we go. We turn in out to that heading at 320 after 19 right, going all the way up to 11,000 feet. Crazy cruise altitude today, I know. Crazy high. So going up to 11,000, and let's see, speed here, that's fine. Let's go ahead and figure out our V-speeds. Got some V-speeds here today. Let's go ahead, all that's looking good, so let's set takeoff and just set all of those. So we got 146, V1 126, VR 126, V2 136, and clean up 185, and speed up to 146 there. So let's go ahead and we can run through a couple checklists here. Let me go up top really quick to see what we have. So the APU is on. I would turn that off, but you know what? At this point, it doesn't even matter. We should have wheel blocks on, but other than that, I'm just going to leave it alone. It's fine. I would connect ground power, but we're going to be out of here in a few minutes anyway. So there's really no reason to do that. So we can, let's see, our landing altitude in Philly, I'm pretty sure is 0, but I'm going to double check that. Philadelphia, it's actually 36, so we can do 40. So let me pop that open and set a landing altitude of 40. We got that set. All that stuff is looking good. Could use some nav lights, those should go. And other than that, we're looking good up here. Bleed source is going to be APU. Isolation valve is going to be opened. All that stuff is looking good there. So let's go ahead and run through a couple checklists. So before I start checklist, the passenger signs are on. The landing elevation is set. Let me see here. Actually, the first time I've ever really operated with this checklist here. I just found it. So the boost pumps are on, the altimeters are 3005 is set, FMS is set, radios and nav aids are set for departure, and takeoff briefing is complete. So before start, checklist is complete. Hope you guys are having a good evening. It's a nice night here. It's actually a little warm. It's going to be, but it will be cooling down here coming up this weekend. So I've got you guys here on my other monitor. Stream's looking good. And we're pretty much ready to go. We're just waiting for boarding to finish up here. I had to go out and kind of do a little repaint. I can't figure out why. You can see I just used the 700's SK livery, but for some reason I still have like that text in the background. Can't figure out why that's there, but I don't know. I'll try to fix it up here. I wouldn't release this scene. I wouldn't release this aircraft simply because all I did was take Aerosoft's paint and slap a new tail number on it, and did a few other things I put in here. You know, operated by Mesa Airlines, and put the nose up there, but that's all I did. And I don't want to release it because I don't want to get in trouble for editing one of their liveries, but I can't fly this. I can't fly a SkyWest plane on a Mesa Airlines route, and vice versa. So we had to change that. And I also wish there should be CRJ things here, but there isn't. But Oh well, so we're just letting the last few passengers board here. I'm actually just about to reset the position so I don't have to deal with it. All that stuff is there. Let's go ahead and see. I think we're pretty much ready to go on the overhead. I don't think there's anything else I need to do here. Probate is off, windshield heat's off. I mean, I can... APU's available. And it is running. So, this is a beautiful aircraft. I really love flying the CRJ. I think it's an absolutely awesome aircraft, and I'm so glad it's finally out. I can actually do some really awesome routes with it. 11,000 feet. Oh, that's good. Boarding just completed, so let's go ahead and disconnect the jetway. Actually, let's close our doors, first of all. So the first thing we do on the ramp, we would have all our doors closed. Those would actually go up before we close them. All the cargo doors are closed. You can pull the chocks. At that point, the jet bridge would be going back. Door is closed. Everything's looking good down here. Let's go ahead and run the clear to start checklist. So the APU is on. Papers are set. Takeoff data is set. Doors are closed and locked. The beacon is on. Fuel pumps and quantity. Let me check here. Are on. And looking good there. Hydraulic pumps should be auto. Auto, and 3A is on. Parking brake is released. And we'll start the engines. So we've run through that checklist. Let's get out of here. Let's call GSX and let's get them to push us out. We're gonna prepare for pushback. Actually, you know what? I still gotta have the parking brakes on. Prepare for pushback departure. Tail left. All right, everything's looking good. Beacon's on. Everything's good. GSX is coming over to push us back now. And we'll do our after start checks once the engines are running, and we'll be out of here. We'll be doing a flap 8 departure out of Dulles today. Just waiting for GSX to come on over. We should be good to go. Just waiting to... There we go. Hello, sir. Thank you guys for hooking up the totally wrong tow bar. That works. That is actually something I didn't know about until I started working the ramp. Every plane has a different tow bar. You know, the CRJ 700, 900 have the same tow bar and whatnot, but actually a lot of planes, I didn't know this, they have different tow bars. The tow bars are not the same. This tow bar they got here looks like it's probably for like a 737 or an Airbus of some sort. Yeah, that looks like a 737 tow bar. Other than that, yeah, the tow bars are not cross-compatible, and I don't know, what is this dude doing? Everything's released. I don't know what he's waiting for here. Doors are closed. Yeah, I don't know what his deal is. Okay, at this point we're just going to abort the pushback and we're gonna push ourselves back. Brakes are released, let's get out of here. There. Alright. Off the gate here at 12:22. And let's go ahead and start. Start the left engine. Waiting for 20 on the N2. Engine's coming up nicely. 18, 19, and 20. Beautiful. And let's see, pushing back just a little bit more here. Actually, you can just stop us here, that's good. Set the parking brakes, let's go ahead and set the right engine. 20. There we go. Alright, so everything's coming up here. Actually, you know what? I forgot emergency lights. Those should be armed. Oops. Okay. So both engines here are up and good. We can go ahead now, switch the bleed source to both engines. All that's good. We can go ahead and kill the APU. It's on its... Oh, shit. I'm a fucking idiot. The generators are off. God damn it. Ah, fuck. Alright. Totally forgot about that. Oh, shit. Okay. We gotta do everything again, don't we? God damn it. Alright. This will be very quick. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Alright. Let's go ahead. Do this one more time. We're going to... Where are we going? We're going to Philly. What are we? 60, 71, I think. Is that what we are? 60, 71. I actually forgot I can pop this up real quick. There we go. 60, 71. We're going off of runway 19 left. Oopsie, oopsie. 19 left. Woolly 1, Baltimore. Flight plan. Next page. We are Victor 214. Kerno. Victor 433. Let's go ahead and set flaps 8 while we're waiting. Flaps rate Odessa, O-D-E-S-A. And from there we will go into Philadelphia. We'll expect the ILS runway 27 right. Execute. Alright, flight plan, perf init. Let's just go ahead and send the data over. Copy data to perf init. Beautiful. We're cruising at 11,000 feet today. There we go, 11,000 feet, execute, and VNAV is good. Let's go back to the legs page. Everything is good. We got our heading set and everything. We need to go ahead and cheat really quick. Let me see here. Option should be instant. Boom. Okay. So all that's closed. V speeds, everything's still set, so we're good there. Okay. Flaps are 8. Nose wheel steering is armed. Let's go ahead and get all this stuff set. Why does it say generator 1? There we go. Okay. All that stuff is good with the stab trim, mock trim, and yaw damper. Okay, let's do the before taxi checklist. Correction, you have to start checklist. Generator 1 and 2 in auto. Generator 1 and 2 in auto. Bleed valves and packs are auto and on. We can actually go ahead and shut that door, by the way, too. Yeah, door closed. Okay. Any ice is off. Probes are on. Electrics checked. Rudder is checked. And nose wheel steering is armed. Okay, we're looking good. Let's get out of here. Time to go. We're going to make the right turn here. Got to get all set up in my chair here. Alright, got to make the right turn out of here. Head over to 19er left. Good. Arm the thrust reversers. I found a bug with this build. I'm on version 1.05, and I've noticed the left reverser, even though it's armed, it doesn't show up. I don't know why that is, and I find that kind of strange. But anyways, the left reverser for some reason doesn't show up when you arm it. Yet it'll say takeoff config OK, so I don't know what the deal is there. Let's do the taxi checklist now. Taxi flaps in 8. We gotta check the flight controls. Everything's good there. Trims. What are we using on the trim today? It's going to be 7.8, I think that is. Yeah. 7.8. Our trims are 7.8 set. Thrust reversers arms. Flight instruments are checked. FMS is set to sequence auto. And the brake temperature is checked. Taxi checklist is complete. Again, heading on over to runway 19 left today. Taking off, climbing to 820 feet, make the right turn out to heading, what is it? Heading 320 on the Woolly 1 departure. It's gonna be a little bit of a taxi. Shouldn't be too long. I'll make sure I go ahead and kind of bump it up a little bit here. So I hope you guys are having a good evening. I'm finally glad to be back and streaming, finally. I don't have to work until 7 p.m. tomorrow, so luckily I can stream and everything like that, and I can actually be around. It sucks. I work at 4:30 in the morning, and I'm up at 3, so I unfortunately can't stream. Or if I do want to stream, it has to be at like 5:30, 6 o'clock, but unfortunately there's not a lot of people around. So that's the only thing that sucks, that I can't stream as much as I'd like to. But I hope to get back into it here at some point. I definitely want to do some cool stuff, you know, from the ramp and stuff like that, so you guys can kind of get my perspective on stuff. Unfortunately, videoing stuff on the ramp is kind of a no-no, so I kind of got to figure out what I'm going to do with that there, but we'll figure something out. I know we will. I got to go get that recirculation fan off, or recirculation fan on. There we go. Sorry about that. So we're going to make the left here onto, what are we on here? Echo, there's Juliet. We'll make the left on Kilo, which is the next taxiway after Juliet, and taxiing up to 19 left. Current wind right now, winds are 110 at, or 111 at 3, so we're still on 19, that works. And 19 is pretty much a shorter taxi. I mean, we're pretty much kind of, I don't want to say we're in the middle, we're kind of towards the upper part of the runway, so it'll just be easier to go to 19 left. Altimeter 3005, got that set. Correction's actually 3006. Need to bump that up one. Although this is only 8 minutes old, so it may not have, Active Sky may not have updated yet. Why is that an HPA? 3006. Okay. We're on Kilo here. We're looking for taxiway Juliet 1. And we'll make that turn on to 19 left and get going. Go ahead and speed up the taxi a little bit here for you guys. Give you guys a little bit of a wing view. See, taxi out this morning over to Philadelphia. Again, we're going to be cruising at a whopping 11,000 feet. Sorry about that. Still getting over a little bit of a cold. I had this cold like 2 weeks ago, and it's still just lingering around. It's awful. There's a little bit of right wing here. I had to turn off AI traffic so we can get just better performance in general. This plane's a little weird on performance. I get these random little lags. I don't know why. They just, I mean, you can kind of see from the wing view, it's just not the smoothest thing in the world. I don't know why it only happens with this CRJ. So I really wish I could figure that out, but I turned off AI traffic. It's just better on frames in general, especially for streaming. I mean, streaming enough takes a hard enough toll on my CPU, and you know, so it's just better to turn it off and give you guys a little bit better of a viewing experience. Here we got Kilo 1. Next is after Kilo 1 we got Juliet 1, and we'll take off a 19 left. Before takeoff checklist, lights and strobes, we'll get those. Fuel is manual cross flow is off. Ignition is set. Flight attendant is advised. Transponder on. TCAS is good. Radar is set. CAS is clear. Before takeoff checklist complete, let's get out of here. 19 left is verified. Let's get the runway lights on. Strobes on. Let's get out of here. Off on our way to Philadelphia. Runway 19 left is verified. We'll double check the heading one more time once we're lined up, but we should be good to go. Again, I don't know why it doesn't tell me the left reverser's armed. It's this new build here, just for some reason doesn't do it. Alright, 191, 19 left set, let's get out of here. And set takeoff thrust. .1234, we're rolling, thrust is set. Cross that a while ago. B1 rotate. B2. That was a great gear up. At 1,000 feet, go ahead and make that right turn now to heading at 320. 1,000 feet AGL. Climb thrust set. Start pitching down now. Start making that right turn now to a heading of 320. Just a nice little heading. Let's go ahead and put on heading hold. Speed now can go up to 250. And we got speed. And now it's giving me 177. Never mind. Alright, we're going to keep pitching down here, keeping that turn going. Want to maintain. Now, once we get to about 200 knots, we'll go ahead and put the flaps up. That looks good to me. Flaps going up. Take off those reversers. Speed up now to 250 knots. And why don't we just go direct to PAZA here. So we're going to go direct intersection, RAZA, execute. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and put on nav. And there you go. So there's 250 knots, making that right turn now direct to RAZA. And we're going up to 11,000 feet only, so it should be a pretty quick climb to cruise. All right, showing us off just a tad. Make a little correction here. Actually, let's just go direct again. Execute that. Now we're on course. Let's go ahead and get that autopilot in there. And autopilot's engaged. Climbing up now 250 knots to 11,000 feet direct to RAZA. And once we hit 10,000 feet, we'll go ahead and do the climb checklist here. Climbing up 250 knots again, going all the way up to 11,000 feet. Crossing 8.6. We come on 9. There's 10,000 feet and 1,000 to go. Let's go ahead and get those lights off and do climb checks now. So, climb checklist. The fuel is on auto. Bleeds and APU is set. Lights and passenger signs are set. Thrust reversers are off and the CAS is clear. Climb checklist complete. Once we hit 11,000 feet, we'll go ahead and turn off the fasten seatbelt sign. There's 11,000 feet, now speeding up to 300 knots. Actually going to take this out of there, get it into manual mode. Start backing off that throttle a little bit. So here we come on 300 knots here. Let's go ahead and get the fasten seatbelt sign off. And we're plugging along. 11,000 feet, 300 knots. And let's see. Philadelphia, this flight shouldn't be too long. We should be there, heck, before you know it. We're going to be on the ILS runway 27 right. I'm going to get all that set up and squared away now. Let's go ahead. The ILS is 108.95. Let's see if I can open this up. There we go. 108.905. Get that into nav 1. 108.905. Get that into nav 2. All right. We got that set there. The course, I don't think we can't mess with the course yet until we are on nav mode. So once we're actually using the ILS as a nav source, so we'll just leave that there as it is. Actually, let's go to Prague. There we go. Let me check here. Let me see here if I can actually set this up to... There we go. That's what I wanted. Beautiful. Put this back to Prague. Just what we want. So I hope you guys are having a good evening. It's going to be a nice flight. I'm actually going to turn around and take this flight back to Washington Dulles. So, and then tomorrow I think I'm going to do some more Mesa hops out of Dulles. So actually Washington Dulles has a lot of cool little routes in it. You know, I'm looking forward to doing them. I'm also helping a couple guys develop a Cleveland scenery. And that's going over quite well, and looking forward. I might even fly this up to Cleveland coming up here pretty soon, so we'll see how it goes. I can definitely tell with this build of the CRJ, I think, again, it's version 1.0.5, I can see this thing is much better at actually tracking an LNAV, our LNAV track. Before it did not, and it was not good at all. This is actually much better with the LNAV, so I'm pretty happy about that. Looks like it's actually capturing it. I was reading the release notes. I know they said they were also working on a thing so it can capture localizers much better. And I know before this thing you couldn't capture a localizer for your life with it. At least nav mode wouldn't do it. So I kind of had to do it with heading hold and just hope you kind of planned correctly. This here should capture localizers much better, and nav mode should actually work. So that'll be nice. I can already see it's doing much better at just in general capturing this LNAV track here. It's pretty nice. And ILS decision height's 200 feet. We'll actually do the MDA, and we'll set the MDA. Let me see here. MDA is going to be 210. It's actually 211, but 210 is the best I could do. There we go. MDA is set. Go ahead and turn that off until I need it. And I really do love this plane. I love flying with it. I'd have to say probably my favorite thing about this plane is the fact that there's no auto throttle. You actually have to be a pilot here and kind of control throttles, and actually you can't just set this plane up and walk away. You actually have to fly it, which is definitely one of my favorite things about it. I really love it. Really love having a little more of a hands-on aircraft, something more than just a, you know, 777 that you just set and leave, and you can leave for 8 hours and it's still going. So definitely pretty nice. We got the ILS set up. I am expecting the ILS 27 right. We're going to gate Delta 6, I believe, in Philadelphia. I got to figure out where that is. Delta 6. Okay, so if we land, I can make Lima turn off. But if I can do that, that'll be a really quick taxi. Actually try and make November. Take November off, so should be a pretty quick taxi actually into Philadelphia here. Shouldn't be too bad. Landing 27 right, we're going to Delta 6. It should be a pretty quick taxi off, make the right in November to Juliet to the ramp. So that's the plan here. Let me see how we're doing. Yep, on our way up to Baltimore now. Baltimore VOR. We'll be finishing up this SID here. This SID, our transition is Baltimore VOR, so should be coming up here to an end. 11,000 feet, 300 knots. Everything's looking good. Again, the only thing I just wish this thing was better in performance. I can't figure out why the performance is kind of, it's weird. It's like sluggish, I guess is the right word. It just, I don't know. It's super weird. Weird aircraft. I don't know if you see it on your side, because again, I have this capped at 30 frames, and you know, I'm actually looking at my stream here. I'm waiting to see me look around to see what it looks like off the stream. But just on my end, I know I'm getting more than 30 frames, but I just have these random dips where it goes less than, you know, where maybe I'll have 45 frames and then it dips to like 35, and it's a 10 frame dip and I can see it, and luckily you guys really don't. So that's good. But yeah, it's super weird. See, we got our HUD open here. I don't know how to actually make this HUD do what I want it to. Let me see here if there's... see if I can find a way to switch this. I don't want that. I don't want... No. It's not what I want. Oh boy. Yeah, see, it just sits there on primary, but I want it to go to, like, VMC. I don't want... wish I could find a way to switch the two, but I can't. Oh well. Maybe one day I'll figure it out. I don't know if I like the HUD. I'm unsure. Just unsure about it. I mean, it's nice now, but... see, the thing I actually like about this HUD is that it actually works versus the NGX HUD, where you pull the HUD down, but since I had to change my view in chase plane, the HUD is totally broken and you just literally can't use it. At least with this, you can actually use this frickin' thing. They did a much better job of modeling this HUD than PMDG did. I'll give them that. Just crossed Baltimore VOR, on our way over to Swan now. And over to Gatby. It should be, I mean, we're going to be getting pretty close to Philadelphia here. Let me see if I zoom out a tad. Yeah, there's Philadelphia. It's about 80 miles out. So, well, what we're going to do here is after we get to Odessa, I'll probably make a right turn to probably like 080-ish. And just fly towards Philadelphia, and then we can loop around and land on 27 left. So surprised we're actually not on a star. There is no star. We're just direct to Odessa, and then we're into Philly. Although I don't know. Take a look here. Take a look at a couple of different stars and see if there actually is one that we can do. I doubt it though, because we're so close to it. Nope, that won't work. That Cedar 8 won't work. Dew Point 5. You're not gonna work. Nope. Jim's 2, I know you won't work. Pat's 2. Nope. Yeah, there are actually no stars that work out for us. So, in the real world, they just give us radar vectors, but I'll vector myself. I will. Nice morning over here in Philadelphia. Got our cloud shadows on, and they're just looking absolutely spectacular. These are the kind of flights I'm really glad we have the CRJ for, because, you know, these are routes that you couldn't really do before. The other CRJ that we had, I think, was Wilco, but that thing was a piece of garbage. There's two things I'm really surprised about the CRJ with. I'm really surprised, one, I don't see as many people flying it on, like, VATSIM. I love this thing. I fly this thing almost as much as my NGX. Awesome plane. There's so many awesome routes you can do with this. But I guess everybody wants to be big-time 747 captains, so whatever. And the second thing, I'm really surprised again. I'm surprised there's not a lot of paints for it. I had to make my own paint. You know, I couldn't find any United paints at all, other than someone did a freaking, like, retro paint in the Battleship Gray, which is totally pointless because they have no Battleship Gray aircraft left. So I really don't understand that. I don't understand why nobody's really hopped onto the CRJ train here and started actually making CRJ paints. There just haven't been any at all. So really surprised about that. Thought for sure there'd be a lot of people that would really get into this plane and would really use it a lot, and I just haven't seen it. You know, so let me know. If you use CRJ, let me know. I'd definitely be interested in it, but for some reason, I just haven't seen people using it, and it really boggles my mind. I don't understand why. It's such an awesome aircraft. You know, all the stuff that comes with it, all the documentation that comes with this aircraft, and nobody really uses it. And I realize it's not a straight-up study-level aircraft. I realize this isn't, you know, PMDG quality from what I'm told. You know, there's some things that may be off or something like that, but I'm just really surprised there's not more people flying this aircraft than there are. So I was expecting the sales on this thing to be insane, almost as good as the NGX, but I just haven't seen it. So, but I love it. I love this plane. If you don't have this plane, I definitely urge you to go get it. It's an awesome aircraft. The only thing I wish they did, I wish they would have had a CRJ 200. I'm kind of surprised they didn't do one, even though I know they did a CRJ 200 for X-Plane. You know, I'm surprised they didn't do a CRJ 200 for Prepared. There's a lot more routes that you could really do in the CRJ 200. Especially out of, like, I wanted to do some stuff with Endeavor Air out of Detroit, but Endeavor Air has a lot of CRJ 200s. And, you know, I just couldn't find any routes that really looked really good to me. Like, this one here looked really cool, you know, Dulles, Philadelphia, you know. But I could not find anything that I liked. Coming up here to Kerno. But yeah, I couldn't find anything I really liked off of it. SkyWest, they use their CRJs, like, almost excessively. You know, SkyWest for American does Chicago, Salt Lake City, and back on a CRJ 700. I don't know about you, but that's a little crazy. I really got into flying for PSA, for American, flying the 900 out of Charlotte, but that Charlotte scenery plus this plane just makes it kind of unusable, unfortunately. I just get those little frame drops with this plane, and I get little frame drops in Charlotte, and when you add the two together, it just can't do it. So I was really disappointed about that. You know, I'm disappointed that Charlotte doesn't run as awesome as I'd like it to. Another thing with AI traffic, I really wish I could run some AI traffic, but with switching to Prepared v4 and going over to a 64-bit platform, none of these AI planes work. You know, the 737s and Airbuses work, but other than that, nothing else works. All the models are broken. Actually, I take that back. A couple of the CRJ 700 and 900 models work. The CRJ 200s are broken, the E145s are broken, everything's broken, nothing works for it. I have Ultimate Traffic Live, but their CRJ and ERJ models are potatoes. I don't know where the hell they got those models from. They literally look like shit. I'd put it up on the screen so you could see it, and it's a joke. I don't know where they got those models from. They're absolutely awful. And, so, you know, that's out of the question. And yeah, I'm just really surprised that there's not more going on for the CRJ. So we're getting up here. Let's go ahead and switch to heading hold. I can now switch this over to Localizer 1. It's not on yet, but it will be soon. I can also switch him over to Localizer 2. And we just haven't captured the ILS yet. That's why the localizer's in red there. Course is going to be 266. I'd like to set that up here if I could actually... No, I can't. Well, I could try to set 266. The reciprocal at 266 is going to be 86. I think so. I can try and set 86, but... Let me see here. That's close enough. 86. Looks about right. That should be on Localizer 1. Localizer 2, FMS 2, FMS 1, Local 1. Okay. We just haven't captured a localizer yet. We're going to be about 40 nautical miles out from Philadelphia. Let's start a little descent here. We can go down to, I don't know, 4,000 feet, let's say. So let's go ahead and set my speed back here to 250 knots. Start bringing that speed back. Let's go ahead and get the fasten seatbelt sign on. Let's go ahead and get the landing lights on. We're going to be passing through 10,000 feet here any second now, and we can do the descent checklist. Landing elevation is set, fuel checked, TCAS is set. Radar's set, terrain display is on, CAS checked, landing data. Let's go ahead and get that now. V speeds, landing. VREF 132, we got that set, and approach briefing is complete. Descent checklist is complete. Intercepting 250 knots now. Let's go ahead and set our altitude down to 4,000 feet. And let's start a little descent here. We'll go down at probably about 1,600 feet a minute right now. Looks like what I'm going to do here down to 4,000. And I'm liking that. We're going to be doing about 250 knots down to 4,000 feet. Descent checks are complete. Set up, we can even run the approach check now. The Philadelphia altimeter is 3007. We got 3007 set on both sides here. We're going to run the approach checklist. Altimeter is 3007 set, APU and bleeds are set, and lights and passenger signs are set. Approach checklist is complete. Approach check's complete. Come back to 250 knots right now. And there's our localizer course. 266 is set. Perfect. And boom, we're ready to go. Take the right turn now to 086. That'll put us on a downwind for runway 27 right into Philadelphia. All right. And everything's looking good. We got 108.95 is set. Let's set our MDA to 10. Airport elevation 36 feet. Touchdown zone elevation for 27 right is 11 feet. And Philadelphia is going to be right off our left here. And alright, and we got all that set. So we're good. Turn that off. Down we go to 4,000 feet. From 4,000 feet we can even go lower. I think our lowest altitude is 2,100 feet, which it is. So actually let's go down to 3,000. Be happy with that. There's 3,000 feet. And again, we're looking for Philly. Should be just pretty much behind that cloud there. Let's go get a nice little outside wing view here for you. Lovely descent this morning into Philly. Flight sim time, I think, is just after, it's like just after 8:30, I think. I gotta see. Whatever it is, it's just after 8 o'clock in the morning, approaching 9. Lovely aircraft. I do, again, I love flying this plane. I think it's such an awesome aircraft. Alright, gotta slow down just a little bit more. Went outside, we lost airspeed a little bit here. We're up to almost 260 knots. Slowing down a little bit more. I'm gonna take this HUD out of here. I'm gonna fly like a big boy. That HUD out of here. Gotta adjust my chair. Sorry if you hear some crazy ass squeaking. I gotta get a new chair. I saw, I subscribe, I don't know if any of you know who he is. I subscribe to Black Hollow on YouTube. He does stuff with Polecat and Jeff. Well, he interacts with Jeff a little bit on the DOJ server. But I follow Black Hollow, and he got a new chair. I forget by who it's made. I gotta go check it out. But it's like the alternative to DX Racer, and I don't want to spend a couple $100 on a chair. I think that's kind of silly. But I know he had a chair that he got that he was doing for somebody. Again, it was an alternative to DX Racer, and it actually looked really nice. And I'm thinking about getting one, so I gotta go check that out. It's Philadelphia right there. We can actually go ahead and bring ourselves in a little bit closer. We are a little ways out. Let's turn to 060. And what was our VREF? 132, I think. Yeah, 132. Perfect. VREF is going to be set, let's see here. We can slow back now to 240 knots. Coming up on 3,000 feet. Philadelphia just off our left there. Start coming off that vertical speed a little bit. And there we are, leveling off now 3,000 feet, 240 knots. What we're going to do is we're at 3,000 feet. I can actually get out of here. I can actually set 2,100 feet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a real little descent. Not much at all, but what I want to do is I want to try and get 2,100 feet by Jalto, and then I can make that left turn in. Let's see, 400 feet. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Let's do that right there. 230 knots now. That's the one thing I like doing. I actually really like just kind of setting my speed bug, even though it does absolutely nothing because it has no auto throttle. I like setting it that way just for me. I can actually see, you know, what airspeed I'm trying to hold, and it's just easier for me to actually figure out, you know, what my airspeed actually is. So, coming up here, there's Philly off my left. Going on our way down to 2,100 feet. That'll be 2,100 feet is our glide slope intercept at Jalto. If we go missed approach, sorry about that hiccup there. If we go missed approach, we'll climb to 1,500, make a climbing right turn to 3,000. Inbound on the Modena VOR, the 115-degree rail to Modena VOR and hold. And we'll be making terrain. That's interesting. Not sure why it's doing that. Let me see if I can take off terrain. What the hell is its deal? I don't understand why it's doing it. It was doing that to me yesterday. I was messing around trying to do the plane, and like this, I was below 2,500 feet. And it was giving me terrain warnings. I'm like, I don't know what you're sensing, so I do find that a little weird. It'll go away once I put the gear down, but I can't find any way to silence it. I don't think there's... None of these circuit breakers work. Yeah, I can't pull the GPWS circuit breaker to get it to shut up. God, that's annoying. It's really annoying that it does that. And there's no way to silence it. There's no way to get it to just turn off. You just have to deal with this thing yelling terrain the entire time. Let's see, alright. Getting close here to being able to make our left turn now. Double check. I'll give you guys a read off the weather real quick here for Philadelphia. Current weather right now in Philadelphia, we got calm winds, 10 statute miles, overcast 15,000 feet, correction. Temperature 24, dew point 17, altimeter 3,007. Let's go ahead and make that left turn now. We can start squaring this up. Making our base turn. Making the left base now for runway 27, right? Let's go ahead and arm the thrust reversers. We can start bringing this back now to about 200 knots. Go flaps 1. And flaps 1 actually isn't flaps. It's pretty much slats. As you can see here, we have slats set, but we have no flaps out. So, I take it back. I think the flaps actually move like a tad, and that's flaps 1. Let's go ahead and move this in a little more. Arm the localizer. Start coming back to 180 knots. And let's go flaps 8. Yeah, Aerosoft, please fix this. Please fix this stupid ground proximity warning. Please, for the love of God. Here's Philadelphia right over there. Making the left turn here in a second. Localizer number 1 is armed. And just waiting here to actually get a little bit closer and we can start making that turn to final. Flaps are 8. Everything's looking good. We got our altimeters set, and the wind is calm. So I'm looking forward to that nice calm wind landing. Start making that turn now. 315. And bring this back to 160 knots.
Terrain.
Let's see how well it does capturing the localizer. So we're rolling out now in about a 7-mile final.
Terrain.
Keep that turn coming around.
Terrain. Terrain.
Runway heading is 268. Yeah, you totally flew right through that localizer again. So it's actually not so good. It still does not capture a localizer correctly because it just absolutely flew right through it. So let's go ahead and do flaps 20. Coming back 132. Yeah, I can't believe it literally just flew right through the localizer. Let's throw the gear down so I can get that shit to shut up. And flaps 45. And our VREF is 132. I'm going to be doing about 140 on the approach here. Again, I have the left reverser armed. It's just not showing up. So, before line checklist flight attendants are advised. Passenger signs are on. Thrust reversers are on, landing gears down, flaps are 45. Landing checklist is complete. Doing about 140 knots. Here we go. That's the chair.
1,000.
That's checked. I'm actually going to go ahead and mute my mic so you don't have to hear my stupid-ass, squeaky-ass wheel, and we'll be back once we're down.
Light slow.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Welcome to Philadelphia. Make the right turn here on November. Glad I made the taxiway I was shooting for. Ground spoilers are down. And let's see what we can do ahead. We go ahead here and make a right here on Kilo. Let's go ahead and get the flaps up. Let's go ahead and get the APU started. Let's go ahead and open up the APU door. Damn it. Yeah, turn the strobes off. Got our taxi lights on. And doors open. Go ahead and get the APU started. That's off. Okay, let's go ahead and afterland checklist. The APU is started. Transponder is set. Flaps are up. Light strobes off. Probes off. Oops. Take a chase plane. There you go. After landing checklist is complete. Going to Delta 6. Let's go ahead and set this up here. Going to Delta 6. No. Break the frames with GSX. Alright. Make the left into Kilo 3 here. And the Delta 6 should be, yep, there it is, right over there. God, I hate it when it does this. This is so stupid. This is the stupid shit they need to fix. Really? Marshaller on the fucking stairs? Because that seems totally legit. I gotta stop my clock too. There we go. APU is on, so we're good there. Brake temp is good. Ah, we're handled by UPS. RIP. Alright. Delta 6. Telling me left, but I'm pretty sure I'm on the line. Yeah. I don't know what crack you're smoking, but I'm definitely right on the line, man. I actually have to scoot up because I won't be able to see if I keep him out of the... If I stay in my view, I won't be able to see him at all. Alright, the APU is available. We're good there. Let's go ahead and set the parking brakes. And down with the engines. Alright. That can go off. Beacon can go off. Plane's gonna freak out. Alright. We got that set. Let's go ahead here. Bleed source is gonna be APU. Turn off the fuel pumps. Those are good. Alright. Parking brake set. Turn off that stuff. Let's go ahead and first stop you, because you're gonna, again, keep freaking out. And let's go ahead and set our ground services. So we'll get wheel blocks and ground power. Doors, let's go ahead and open up the main exit door. And open the cargo doors. Beautiful. Nose wheel steering is off. Let's request some deboarding. And I'm just waiting to see this light come on with available power for me. Alright. Let's go check outside. Let's see how everything's doing here. So the jetway doesn't work. It's gonna have to sit there. And but here you go. That is it. We finally made it to Philadelphia. That was a pretty fun flight. Nice and short. I actually really enjoyed it. And let's see. Yep, you're going over. Everything's good there. The parking brake is set. Still don't know why I don't have ground power connected, but you know, who knows? I don't know. I'm gonna leave it at that. Let's run the parking checklist, or correction, shutdown checklist. Shocks and brakes are set. Electronics are set to fuel, and feels good. Thrust levers are shut off. Seatbelts are off. NEI's off. Fuel pumps off. Hydraulic 3A pump is off. Beacon's off. Nose wheel steering is off. Shutdown checklist is complete. That's going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for everyone that came along. I really appreciated hanging out with you guys, having a nice evening with you guys. And I definitely hope to be streaming some more. This was a lot of fun. So, again, thank you for everyone that came along, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.